Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me on this brief video as a start to the 2022 year. I posted recently on Facebook and Instagram about reframing the idea of New Year's resolutions. It's been my personal experience and professional experience coaching and working with hundreds of individuals over the years who have set New Year's resolutions that rarely do people follow through with them. And it's human nature, and it's not because of any other reason other than we fall short of our expectations. And that is when we set the New Year's resolution prior to the unfolding of the new year, there is this sense of welcoming, a sense of newness, if there exists such a word, or the sense that we want to do away with what is not working for us in the current climate. So it might be, for example, improving our health, losing weight, giving up drinking, being in a committed, healthy relationship, improving our career, whatever the circumstances. So the mindset that we're in when we are making those New Year's resolutions is one of perhaps being stuck or stagnant or not enjoying the current climate. And so we gravitate towards this sense or this need of improving our life circumstances, and rightly so. So what I proposed in this post on Facebook and Instagram was, instead of setting New Year's resolutions, that we ought to set intentions. So here's the thing with intentions. An intention is stronger than a New Year's resolution because it has three factors imbued or embedded in the intention. So a resolution is generally based on our current climate. And so we believe that if we are lacking in money, that having more money will improve our life. So that may or may not necessarily be the case because we don't know. So having more money may actually contribute to more problems because now we have more money to manage, which also comes with its associated problems. We may win the lottery, and suddenly we are thrust into managing more money than we've ever had to handle. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the solution to our problems by making resolutions is not actually the direct path to solve our problems. But if we circumvent that and focus on intentions, then an intention is imbued with these three factors. So the first factor is getting clear on what you want. And this is something I coach my coaching clients very particularly. Why do you want what you want? Is it born out of necessity? Is it born out of lack? Is it born out of making up for something that is missing in your life now or in your childhood? What would getting what you want help you achieve? What would it change your life? Would it change you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually? Who would you become when you achieve that goal or that desire? So, for example, being in a committed and healthy relationship, who would you be in that relationship? Is that the person you envisage yourself to be? So you can see there are so many questions we ought to ask ourselves before we commit to a New Year's resolutions, or in this case, an intention. So it's about getting clear. An intention is about creating a stable base. Think of a three-legged stool. We need those three legs to create a stable foundation in order to sit on the stool. And this is what pretty much follows an intention, getting very clear on why we want what we want. So the second point is clarifying why you want to achieve it. And so I've spoken in the past about Simon Sinek, who wrote a wonderful book called Start With Why. And it's the understanding that most humans are wired to think in terms of how and what, but rarely do we focus on why we are doing things. And you've probably heard the term intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So motivation that comes from within, or motivation that comes from without, so external motivation. So getting clear on our why is going beneath the surface, going deep into the mind and really trying to understand our true motives for achieving our goals. And I explained earlier in the first point how it's about getting to the heart of who we will become. So when we focus on intentions, we are focusing on the person that we wish to become, as opposed to focusing on the result. So for example, if we focus on weight loss and we say to ourselves, I want to lose 10 kilos. Now, whilst that's a worthwhile goal, why is 10 kilos important? I mean, that's just an arbitrary number. But why is it 10 kilos? Why not 5 kilos? Why not 20 kilos? So if you reframed that from a New Year's resolution into an intention, that might be something along the lines of, I want to become healthy and change my lifestyle, change my habits. And as a result, weight loss will become a byproduct of becoming healthy. So suddenly you're getting up in the morning, you are exercising in the morning, you might be meditating, you might be gravitating towards healthier foods instead of packaged foods. You might switch to a different nutritional habits. You might meditate in the evening. So it's really about changing your lifestyle so they become more permanent aspects, instead of just losing weight because you don't like the way that you look when you look in the mirror, or if you're wearing a swimsuit, or if you're wearing trunks, or whatever it may be. So it's getting to the heart, getting to the why. And then the third component is summoning powerful emotions in order to sustain the effort. And this is the most important part, because effectively what happens when we're pursuing a New Year's resolution, as soon as we hit a hurdle or an obstacle, which undoubtedly comes quite soon after the new year begins, then we lose motivation. We lose the inspiration to keep going, because we are not realizing our goals as quickly as we would like to. And so we abandon the goal, we give up, and we go back to our old way of life. But if we sustain those powerful emotions and tap into our, what I call capital Y, WHY. So if we've identified that we want to lose weight because we have a history of heart disease in our family, and we really want this year to be the change in that, and we perhaps want to teach our children the value of following through. We want to teach our children what it's like to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle. We want to teach our children the sense of ownership, the sense of prioritizing our health, and that we don't want to pass on these bad habits to our children. Then suddenly we're evoking those really powerful emotions to sustain us in those goals. We are not allowing ourselves to be dictated by a loss in motivation. We're not allowing ourselves to be, or to succumb rather, to a dip in motivation, or when obstacles or hurdles appear. We realize that our why, our deep motivation, is far greater than the obstacle or the challenge that stands before us. So I hope you'll give that some consideration in terms of looking at the importance of intention, setting intentions for 2022 instead of making New Year's resolutions. So if this is of interest to you, I would certainly invite you to take a look on my website and type in intentions in the search box at the bottom of the website, in the footer of the website, and you'll come across a number of articles there on the power of intentions and how to set powerful intentions this year. And certainly, if this is of interest to you and you would like some guidance, that you need some coaching in order to help you realize your goals for this year, then certainly I welcome you to reach out to me, contact me via my website and inquire about coaching, and we can set up a free 20-30-minute chat and talk about your goals and desires and how I can help you to achieve those. I wish you much success, prosperity, health, and abundance this year in 2022. I hope this is a wonderful year for not just you, but all of humanity. And I hope that this pandemic is something that we overcome this year and put behind us and move towards a more kinder, gentler, loving, and more compassionate universe. So thank you once again for tuning in, listening to this video message, and my name is Tony Fackery. Thanks again.